So yesterday, quite a few of the Epstein survivors held a press conference in which they basically demanded, pleaded, begged that the Trump administration would finally release all of the files, unredacted, except for the victims' names. That's what they want. That is what they are asking for. And it was a strange fucking moment. Strange in that it was like horrific, strange in that it was things that I did not expect to hear or see. One, Marjorie Taylor Greene was there in support, basically saying that if the victims were too scared to name names, that she would take the names from them and she would name names. She didn't give a fuck. Not very often I would ever give her credit for something, but she is up for re-election, so maybe this is just, a dog and pony show for her, right? Like, and I guess even a broken clock is right twice a day. But good on her. They needed a certain amount of names in order to go from, the House to Congress, but from one step to another. They have all of the Democrats on board to vote. They had 4 Republicans, which included Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace, surprisingly. Again, I guess even a broken clock is right twice a day. But the problem is then it goes to the next stage, which is completely run by the Republicans. So more than likely it's going to die at that stage, especially with Donald Trump threatening so many Republicans that if they vote to release the files, he will bring hell and brimstone down on them. Because, that's what an innocent man does, right? During the press conference, a bunch of airplanes flew overhead and were drowning out the noise of the press conference, which we all know that wasn't a fucking coincidence. And probably the best part of the entire press conference was one of the survivors who spoke said that they know who their abusers are. They know from being on the island, being at the parties, they saw who was there, and they're planning on releasing their own list at some point. Now, I know it's not as official, but honestly, I think it's the best way for them to move forward, because Donald Trump's never going to release these files. No matter how much people continue to go after him, he is protecting himself. And by the time they maybe even get anything, they will be so fucking redacted from all of him and his buddies' names, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to help. So really and truly, the survivors just should start making their own list. At one point, a bunch of the survivors were interviewed by a major media outlet, and one of the questions that they asked these 8 survivors that they cherry-picked to go into this interview was whether or not they seen Donald Trump engage in anything untoward or horrible while at any of these Epstein events, in which they all denied seeing anything. But of course, it's interesting how they only pick 8 out of 2,000 apparent victims. And didn't pick one of the 28 people that have accused Donald Trump of wrongdoing in the past, present. Crazy. And yet I love how the Republicans are using this as a gotcha moment, as if Donald Trump will never be on the list because these 8 people out of 2,000 victims didn't see anything. Crazy. Now, one of the victims spoke out and admitted the fact that she is a Republican and she voted for Donald Trump, despite being a victim of the Epstein parties. But the thing is that at one point he was saying that he would release the files. He campaigned on it. So she probably voted for him, hoping that this would finally give her some closure. And also, she did not name Donald Trump as one of her abusers. So while it disturbs me greatly that she could be involved in all of this and not understand that he abused other people just like the men or whoever it was that abused her, including Epstein and others, how she could not sympathize and not vote for Donald Trump, but it is what it is, I guess. But again, like, Donald Trump wasn't her abuser, so it's another person that didn't see him or have knowledge of, right? So... But overall, I know that the Trump administration is never going to do right by the survivors, right? And the thing is that if he is so fucking innocent, why is he not just releasing everything? Unredacted except for the victim names. Like, just release. But we know he's not innocent, so he never will. And at this point, anybody who continues to fucking defend him, I'm sorry, but you stand with the PDFs. You stand with them, you probably are one, and you disgust me.